peace. There are people who came up and abused me and were very disrespectful, and I personally gave power with a lot of humility. And I think this is where you can see some quarters becoming agitated, because there were very high expectations that maybe he would come in and declare that I am working with this team. He also said that he was not very sure of the Azimio because since we were elected or we got into power, we have not had a meeting for Azimio. And of course, Azimio has mutated. And of course, even us, as members of parliament from Jubilee Party, we wrote to the speaker and requested that we move out of Azimio coalition and we become an independent political party in parliament, because it is there and it is provided in law. And so currently in parliament, we have Jubilee Party as an independent parliamentary party, not on Azimio or not on Kenya Kwanza, and that is the status. But coming from Mount Kenya region, it is very interesting because one person has come in and said, if you do not follow me, if you are not in my party, then you are a betrayer, then you are a traitor. And they have branded members and individuals who are not following these demigod names. And so it was interesting for Uhuru to come in and now provide another or a different platform. And that is why you can see a lot of people talking and saying, so this is a wheelbarrow, it's now painted red, so whether they come in as Jubilee or whatever it is. And I just want to say it's the high time we appreciate that different politicians and people have liberty to choose. And that is why even in this new constitution, there's a chance that you can also vie as an independent candidate. Do not try to put and push people into a bottle or into one bus that you must, if you don't follow me, then that means you are not loyal to your tribesmen, or you cannot be counted as somebody who can be trusted in the leadership. And we have seen it. We have seen people going into the villages, going into churches, going into funerals, and saying, if you don't see somebody, and now saying this small clique, because they worship me, because they follow me, they are the only ones who should be elected. Or someone saying, I am the one to come and tell you who you will elect. Let me just say something. I think Kenyans and where we have reached, they have their own mind. They have a sound mind. They can be able to decide and say, yes, this kind of a person is the kind of a person you're looking for, and this is what we want in the leadership. Unfortunately, what has been happening, and I think I want to just, I've been in politics now for maybe this is my 13th year. What has been happening before is that if a certain political party is popular in a region, then the person who goes into these political parties almost have an assurance that I am going to be elected. But I think what Kenyans, even as we register the voters, we should be asking ourselves, what kind of leadership are we looking for? That is why we find immediately after we vote in a government, then there's a lot of dissatisfactions. Because what people forget, even if I am following Gakuya as my presidential candidate, and you have elected me as a member of parliament, Gakuya will not escort me to that parliament. Gakuya will not take me to the county government if I'm the governor or I'm the MCA. Whether I am following him or not, I have a responsibility as the person who has been elected to be able to work for my people. And there are things that we politicians promise people when we are asking for votes. But immediately after, we try to find, we go and hide under, I was elected under this, and so I am blaming so-and-so for me not working, for my underperformance. Look at Nairobi. How is Nairobi today? And I would want to ask Akuya, are you very happy on the state of Nairobi, how it is? So who do we blame? And I think we have gotten to a level where, independently, and I can see maybe 2027 will have many members who will vie as independent candidates, not wanting to be associated with whoever, but want to come in as an individual. But number two also, I pray that one day we will have political parties that have manifestos that they can follow, that manifestos are not only used as a tool to hoodwink voters to vote for you and that political party, but immediately after, and these political parties, as you have said, a lot of them are also earning from the kitty of from the political parties. But are they worth to earn? Why do they get this money? Are they using even that political party's money to actually work for the people who even voted for them or the membership? I think we need to start criticizing ourselves. I hope one day we'll get to the level where I say I am a Democrat or I am a Republican or I believe in this political party, not because of the person who is the head, but because of the ideals, because of the beliefs, because of what I would want to do for Kenyans. Maybe when we get to that level, and that is maybe what we call political maturity, we'll get there. But as long as we start following people who they are calling themselves kingpins, Okay. Who are the ones to dictate to us. Indeed, if somebody is not with me, don't vote.
In the National Assembly, most of the members there are no longer subscribed to the parties that actually sponsor them to power.
Lakini leo kuna baridi.
Ukihitaji pesa ghafla, huwa unaomba kwa nani?
Huwa naomba kwa wazazi au marafiki. Lakini
under the headline, Uhuru's return threatens Gachagua grip on Mount Kenya. Bwana Gakuya, are you feeling threatened?
I would say no. I am not threatened. One thing is that, in fact, Uhuru Kenyatta has been in tug of battle with the split of his Jubilee party for a long time. Now that the matter has settled, it does not mean that this party was not existing. Number two, this party took itself to an election in the last concluded election in 2022. And we all of us know how it performed. So I don't think that there is any miracle that this party will really jumpstart and do better than what it did when Uhuru was ahead of state. This, to me, does not worry me even a second. What I would state very clearly is that there was a notion of a united opposition, where Jubilee was purported to be part of the united opposition. But in the last NDC for Jubilee, it seems that they have changed their mind and they have opted to go on their own, probably to sponsor a candidate, and most likely one Matiang'i, of which, to me, I can't get worried at all, because Matiang'i will only split votes that comes from Kisii region. Because I am totally confident that Uhuru cannot split the mountain votes.
Yet all the other parties within the united opposition are fielding their own candidates.
Remember, Uhuru had his own candidate in the last election. Remember, he performed dismally, and he only garnered 13% in Mount Kenya. 87% went elsewhere. And let me tell you, that still decision stands. I don't think that, in fact, Mount Kenya will split because of Uhuru coming up with a different candidate. That will not work.
But what is your concern? What is your concern with Matiang'i running for president on Jubilee ticket? We have Kalonzo Musyoka on Wiper. We have Eugene Wamalwa on DAPK. We have Gachagua on DCP. What is so wrong with Jubilee Party?
In fact, there is nothing wrong with that. The only thing that is wrong is the end game result. Because from the word go, I had been suggesting that, in fact, this is one team. And at the end of the day, they will zero down to a single candidate. It seems as if this particular idea is changing, and it has taken to take a different election. I cannot be comfortable if at the tail end Uhuru is not going to work with the rest of the team. Because remember, you are fighting a battle with a master of a stroke, who is one William Ruto. If the only thing that I can be able to say that Uhuru is doing it better, because he insisted that he's still in what we call Azimio. And by trying to check side by side, I couldn't be able to see who is now Azimio. Consideration that in Kalonzo, combination of Kalonzo and Gachagua cannot bring Azimio factor again. And seeing now Odinga in partnership with William Ruto in government, then that particular element of Azimio is nowhere. So I was not really able to know to understand where the Azimio factor is coming in and who is Azimio for now.
Okay. Finally, one of the cartoons is a caricature of the former deputy president